Hi you guys, and welcome to my tasty life. I hope that you enjoy what you're about to witness. It's going to be some greatness today. I hooked up some vegan sushi rolls that I think whether you eat meat or not, you're going to really love these rolls. They're packed with flavor and nutrients, so it's really the best of both worlds. So with all that said, let's get started.
First, we're going to take 2 tomatoes and score them on 4 sides. Be sure not to cut far beyond the flesh, as this will make it easier for removal after boiling. Off camera, I filled a pot with 4 cups of water and placed it over high heat to boil the tomatoes. As I wait for the water to come to a boil for them, I chopped my produce that I will be filling and topping my sushi rolls with and put them aside. As you can see, I used carrots and cucumbers as my toppings of choice, but you really can use whatever you like. I also cut up some mango, which I didn't actually get to use, and I put it in a smoothie the next morning, so it worked out. And getting my eggplant together because I will be actually using this for my unagi roll. I actually don't need the seeds for this unagi, so what I'm doing is just chopping those off and discarding them. I didn't really care about making these really thin because they are for unagi, but my cucumbers and carrots, I wanted them to be julienne. Now that our water has come to a boil, we can actually go ahead and get our tomatoes into the pot. And you just really want to cook these for about a minute on each side. The goal is to just really get that skin loosened up so that we can peel away all of that nice and easily for our smoked salmon. And from hot to cold, we're going to actually put those over an ice bath. And what this does is just stop the cooking process so that you don't end up with soggy tomatoes. It'll keep them nice and firm. The goal here is just to really make sure that we can remove that skin and get a slight cook on them. I allow these to soak for about a minute on each side just so that we can make sure that they're nice and cool. To a bowl of brown rice, I added 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of rice vinegar, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 teaspoon of sweet rice seasoning, which is also known as mirin, and we're just going to give that a quick stir. Now that our tomatoes have cooled, we can start peeling those skins away. I have seen some people actually keep these because we do want to eliminate food waste. You can probably also add them to other dishes later, but I just toss mine, to be honest. Now we're just going to slice these thin as smoked salmon. And then we're going to add a tablespoon of sesame oil along with a teaspoon of rice seasoning, 1 teaspoon of coconut aminos or soy sauce, and a half a teaspoon of liquid smoke. You just want to mix that all together, and this is going to really give you a nice smoky flavor. So now we can add our salmon to the mix and just get them mixed and coated really well. To prepare our unagi mixture, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of mirin, 1 tablespoon of agave syrup, 1 teaspoon of cornstarch along with 1 tablespoon of coconut aminos, a half a teaspoon of liquid smoke, a quarter of a teaspoon of brown sugar, and half a teaspoon of rice seasoning. Just going to give that a quick stir to make sure everything gets nice and mixed up. And now we have our eggplant ready, and we can just go ahead and get that nicely coated, the same as we did with our tomato. Next, we're going to add 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour along with a tablespoon of cornstarch to a bowl and mix together well. In a separate bowl, combine about 2 tablespoons of rice seasoning, 1 teaspoon of reduced sodium Old Bay seasoning, a splash of sesame oil, as well as a few drops of mirin. Add a splash of club soda and give it all a quick mix just before you are adding your oyster mushrooms to it. To the cup of flour mixture, I just want to make sure that I add enough club soda to give it a nice consistency so that it would stick to our oyster mushrooms. And now we dip. From wet to dry, what I have in the second bowl is actually whole wheat panko breadcrumbs, but you're free to use the regular variety as well. Off camera, I heated some grapeseed oil, and what we're going to do is just add that unagi, or eggplant, to that. I actually added a little bit too much oil. You don't have to use very much because they are so thin. As you can see, they're kind of drenched in them, and so just note to self, I won't use as much oil next time. I ended up just returning them to the bowl where they originally were marinating. To the same heated skillet, I then added my tempura mushrooms just so that they can get nice and fried. Again, we didn't need as much of the oil, but hey, we already had it, so I ran with it. You just want to cook these for about 2 minutes on each side to get them nice and golden brown. Off camera, I baked my tomatoes for about 20 minutes on 350 degrees. I just kept checking them because ovens do vary, but voila, here is the final product, and I stole a piece. In the squeeze bottle is just some vegan sushi sauce that I found. It was really good. Last up, finally, is our hearts of palm, which is going to be our crab mixture. You just want to dice these up really well and get the consistency of crab. I can only get them so small, so what I did was add them to my small food chopper. You can use a food processor or anything you have on hand. I just wanted to use this because it's more convenient. Just toss them in there and give it a quick few pulses just to get that nice consistency that we're looking for. Now I'm just preparing some green onions. These are for topping as well as filling to our crab mixture. Have some vegan mayonnaise here. I used about 2 tablespoons of that. To that, I'm also going to add a tablespoon of our reduced sodium Old Bay seasoning. Throw in a few of those scallions, and we're going to use about 1/4 of a lemon for the juice. Just going to squeeze it really well to get that flavor. Add 1/4 of a teaspoon of our sesame oil. Mix that together well just before we add our final ingredient, which is about 1/4 of a teaspoon of cornstarch. This is just going to make it thicken up a bit and give you a nice consistency. And now the fun part, we get to construct our sushi rolls. First up, I'm going to do our Philadelphia roll, which is just some vegan cream cheese. I'm adding that smoked tomato mixture to that. And you can top it, of course, with whatever you'd like, but I'm adding some scallions to mine along with a squeeze of lemon juice. I actually thought that I added avocado, but I guess I forgot. It was really bomb without it, so it didn't matter. But from there, you just start to roll. I am not an expert roller, and as you can see here, I forgot that I did not add my rice, so I'm adding it now. Again, my roll still came out really delicious, so it was not a big deal, but you know, you live and you learn. I'm still new to sushi making. I actually want to take a sushi class because I'm really, really terrible at the rolling process, and especially chopping it. My second roll, which is my dragon roll, I'm just placing that unagi at the bottom of the sushi because I want to have it end up on top. And from there, I'm adding my tempura as well as some avocado and cucumbers. You can add whatever you like. Again, it's really up to you. I am also adding that crab mixture that we just made, and from there we roll once again. And as you can see, when I end and I sort of tuck them together, my unagi ends up on top. There's probably a way better process, but again, I am not an expert roller just yet. Hopefully I'll tell you guys something later on, but I wrapped that in saran wrap just to make sure that it got to clean really well. And from there, I'm not going to show you my cutting. It was really, really bad. So anyway, on to our final roll. This is our island roll. Just laying out my brown rice really well to make sure that everything is nicely coated. From there, I am once again adding those tempura mushrooms to the mix. And also have that cucumber. So it's starting off the same as our dragon roll initially, and then, you know, we get a little crazy. Then I'm going to go in with our crab mixture. Once I finished rolling, I added those avocados on top, and then I'm just going to squeeze from the other end, not too tight because you don't want to mush them, but you just want to make sure that they set nice and well on the top of your roll. So that's what I'm doing, just kind of rocking it back and forth here. Finally, we can top that with our tomato mixture. I gotta tell you guys, this smoked salmon recipe, I think you would really love it, whether it's for a lox bagel or anything else. It's so yummy. So now I'm just going to do the same that I did with avocado, which is sort of push it together, rock it to make sure that it can cling really well to my roll. And we're pretty much done from here. From here, I just topped my roll with that delicious vegan sushi sauce, and it was so good. Thank you so much for watching. If you really liked what I had to show today, please feel free to like, subscribe, and comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, bye you guys.
Hi you guys, it's Tay. No. It's me, Tay. It's me. It's me. And you. Why did my voice crack like that?